Hello everyone, I'm Father Andrian, and in this video I'm going to explain comparative literature and the future of literary studies. The study of literature. Literary study is constituted by the combination and collaboration of four distinct disciplines: poetics or literary theory, literary criticism, literary history, and comparative literature. For the last 150 years, however, literary history has been the dominant approach, a legacy of German Romanticism and its involvement in the emergence of the concept of the nation state. The paradoxical truth of the matter is that literary nationalism both enables and limits the practice of comparative literature. Literary history as a discipline broke with previous approaches that did not distinguish among literatures according to the languages in which they were written, but posited the existence of a literary continuum in which words were understood in terms of supranational systems of poetics and rhetoric. In the study of literature, we have to be attentive to the particularities of a given text, but also capable of seeing it in context in order to glean from it richer meanings. The study of literature requires a balance and fertile harmony of these four approaches. Neither literary criticism nor literary theory can then be separated from comparative and historical approaches. A literary theory that does not base itself on an analytic criticism that is sufficiently developed will be a weakened theory. It will be equally weak if it does not sufficiently take into account the historical panorama. What comparative literature brings, however, is an absolute necessary contrastive approach which diffracting the historical sequence of literary production into various linguistic areas allows for their juxtaposition. What comparative literature ultimately gives us is the ratification of conclusions that the other three areas of literary science suggest. It consolidates the hypothesis of literary theory every time it identifies invariants or general laws common to diverse traditions. It grants the literary theory history of a determination or language a deeper resonance in its capacity to contrast a given tradition with others. It enriches literary criticism, providing it with a wide panorama on which to refine its instrument. Definition of literature by expert. First, by Remark, comparative literature is the study of literature beyond the confines of one particular country and the study of the relationships between literature on one hand and other areas of knowledge and belief, such as the fine arts, philosophy, history, the social sciences, religion, and etc. On the other, in brief, it is the comparison of one literature with another or others, and the comparison of literature with other spheres of human expression. Second, a definition by A. Owen Aldrich. Comparative literature can be considered the study of any literary phenomenon from the perspective of more than one national literature or in conjunction with another intellectual discipline or even several. Historical vicissitudes. From the middle of the 19th century, the growth of comparative literature depends on individual achievements. But the 20th century will be the most important time for the consolidation of comparative literature. It is at this moment that comparative literature not only becomes subject taught within universities, but also is articulated institutionally in the creation of national and international associations. But also very important is the historical context here, as after World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, the idea grew that conflict could be avoided through a greater understanding between nations. mutual cultural and artistic understanding were seen as central to this endeavor. Then, in World War II, temporarily halted the progress of comparative literature. The war brought a great deal of nationalistic triumph and egocentric comparison intended to show one's own country as triumphing over intellectual rivals. And in the second half of the 20th century, the Cold War as a major hindrance to the development of comparative literature, especially in the countries behind the Iron Curtain, such as Hungary and Czechoslovakia, which had been pioneers in the development of the discipline. The breakup of the Soviet Union and the fall of Berlin Wall at the end of the 1980s coincided with visions of a new Europe that will be both economically and politically integrated, a vision in which the recognition of common cultural roots was key. The definition of these roots will be tested by Turkey's application for membership in the European Union. The rise of world literature can be seen as responding to similar impulses in the context of economic globalization, a tendency already identified by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in 1848 when they announced the emergence of a world literature from the numerous national and local literature as a side effect of the emerging war market. Uh, that's it. That's the presentation of chapter 1. Thank you.